probably the best spot to start is to let esteemed audience know that if they're listening to this episode as it comes out, or even a few days after, they still have time to sign up for your launch party for What the World Could Make. That's happening May 4th at 5 p.m. Tell esteemed audience who all is going to be at the party and what they can look forward to.
Okay, sure. I happen to have a copy of the book we're going to be talking about. So it's called What the World Could Make. It looks backward on your screen, but I don't know. So it's called What the World Could Make, and it's illustrated by my dear friend, Belgian friend, Pascal Lemaitre. It's our third collaboration together. And this book stemmed from a series of dreams I had with my client, Kate DiCamillo, who was one of my first clients and one of my best known clients. Also one of my best friends at this point. It's been about 20 years. And in the dreams, each year when I had a particularly powerful dream about her, Pascal would draw the dream, and he created us as bunnies, and I would give it to her for Christmas. And this started over a decade ago. And then in the past couple of years, somehow the bunnies he drew us as in the dreams I relayed to him morphed into a story. And with Kate's permission, I said, you know, am I allowed to use the bunnies? Because I felt like they were her bunnies and she felt like they were my bunnies. And she was delighted that they were going to have another life. And so this is the first of the bunny books. And you could see us on the back. So her name is Rabbit, and she has the more pointy ears. And my name is Bunny. It's not that imaginative, but it felt right. And I have the rounder ears. And it's sort of our view of life and the world and the abundance that can be found in the everyday world. And we're just together through these books, and we're planning to do 2 more of them. And so she will be joining us at our launch party because she's so much a part of the story of how this book came to be. And it's hosted by Schuler Books, which is a bookstore in Michigan, together with their neighbor independent bookstore, Nicola's Books. And it'll be the first time. Usually we have a big fancy launch party in New York City, but we can't do that this year. I bought some special pants to wear, which I thought COVID would be over by now, but I'm planning to still wear the pants, and I'm not going to reveal them until the night of the party. But it's at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on May 4th, our publication day. And you can find me, Holly McGhee, on Facebook, and you'll see a posting about the book, or you can go to Schuler Books on Facebook and find out how to get onto the live event. And it should be not so much not the most kid-friendly event in the world, but it's going to be a very exciting conversation about the origins of the story.
Well, check out the show notes, esteemed audience. I won't let you down. I'll make sure I link to it, and I'll be there. Wouldn't miss it. This sounds like it's going to be an amazing party.
I think so. I think it'll be great. And we have a wonderful moderator who was one of the founding members of Studio 360 on NPR, and she has moderated all our past 2 events, and she always agrees graciously because she loves working with us to come and host these events. And so we never know what question will be asked. And that's part of the fun. Nothing is rehearsed ahead of time. And so it's typically a pretty organic and free-flowing conversation where we never know what's going to happen.
And so there's going to be, you said 2 more books. Will you be writing both of those, or is Kate DiCamillo going to write one and
Nope, they're all mine. They'll all be written by me, and the next one is about love. This one is about hope, and Kate is just sort of our fairy godmother in the whole scenario.
I read the book with my son, my first grader. He was an enthusiastic fan, so we read it a couple of times. We enjoyed it very much. It's a I'm trying to think what the word is for it. It's there's very few page. Well, I guess one question I had as I was reading it for you, just about the writing, is there are not a great deal of words per page, but there are some words that were challenging almost for me to say a couple of the colors out loud. And and I'm supposed to be at the very least literate at this point in my life, and I wondered, as you were doing that, is that an opportunity to challenge younger readers to go and learn new words?
Not at all. I wonder what words you were stuck on, Rob, because there aren't that many hard ones in this book. Like fuchsia, was that a word you didn't know?
No, I knew all the words. There was, you know what? Now I've got to pull up the arc that she sent me again, and I can tell you exactly.
I never think about the words. I'm not someone who would ever be able to write a ready-to-read book, and I don't publish a lot of books, so I try to. If I was writing about lilacs, I just try to think about what they look like. And I do think my picture books are really for all ages. They're not funny kid books. Sometimes I wish they were, but they're sort of more philosophical. And so I guess if my editor told me I couldn't use a word, I would take it out, but no one's ever challenged me on the descriptive words I use.
Well, here's one, and it's one that I knew, but a ginkgo carpet to behold, which rhymes perfectly, of course, with the magical kingdom of gold. But
that's actually my favorite line in the whole book.
That is a word I hadn't encountered I don't think I've ever encountered it in a picture book, but that I don't read a great deal of picture books now that my little one has moved on to the chapter books. Let's see.
So was it the word ginkgo?
That word, and there was one I think it was for brown, that was just an unusual word that I thought, oh, well, there's something that I felt like might be a little bit above and beyond the usual picture book, which I liked. And then, of course, the overall concept of the book of getting a gift from the earth and then giving that gift to your friend. Spoilers, which I assume spoilers are maybe okay for a picture book, but maybe not. Maybe I'll have to edit all of this out.
I think spoilers are always okay, because who knows if okay, so I live in Manhattan half the time and in New Jersey half the time, and on the front lawn of our old house was a giant ginkgo tree, and the leaves that you see in the book, the yellow leaves, every fall the entire lawn is just covered with leaves that look like this. And it's a particular kind of tree. It doesn't have the typical red, orange, and yellow and green of a maple tree, but this is exactly what it looks like. And every fall, as my children are older now, they're in their teens, and my oldest one is 22. But every fall, our entire front lawn was covered in yellow ginkgo leaves. And so that was just something I thought was so beautiful, and it came to me naturally, and I wasn't trying to teach anybody about the ginkgo tree, although now that you mention it, where I grew up in upstate New York, I never saw a ginkgo. But in Essex County, New Jersey, there's lots of ginkgos. So, yeah, it's a I think everyone should get to experience a ginkgo, and maybe they can through those spreads in the book.